Bonjour et bienvenue à notre leçon de français. Hello and welcome to our French lessons at J&C. In today's session, we are going to learn a really interesting topic, which is le genre des noms. Le genre, le genre des noms. What is le genre des noms? It's basically the gender of nouns in French. Le genre des noms. Now, what is a gender of noun in French? So, in English, what is a noun, first of all? So, a noun is something, maybe a common noun or a proper noun. Common noun as like a pen, a pencil. Proper noun, for example, name, place, animal. Absolutely. So, same way we have nouns in French. In French, every single noun has a gender, either masculine or feminine. Now, what do I mean when I say every single noun has a gender? How do we identify them? So, there are some rules there are some techniques or rules or some nouns are categorized in some endings, which shows, oh, okay, this noun is masculine, this noun is feminine. For example, a crayon, which is a pencil, is a masculine noun, a crayon. How do we know about it? It is not ending with a E. So we learn such rules in today's session. We use different kind of articles to identify this noun is feminine, this noun is masculine. Also, there are some agreements which affect these nouns. So let's get started. On y va. Now, how do we recognize it's a masculine noun? So there are several endings which show, okay, this noun has to be masculine. So what are such endings? But make sure you know this thing that in French, there are these rules which help you identify. But these rules do not work 100% of the times. There are hundreds of exceptions to it. So let's get started. For identifying masculine nouns, we have the endings such as âge, which is age, A-G-E, age. Âge, you can remember it as âge. Okay. So if any noun usually ending with A-G-E is usually masculine. So let's start. Example, le message. Le message. What is a message? You guessed it correct. Message. So repeat after me. Le message, which is a message. Now we have second ending, which is M-E-N-T. So if a noun is ending with M-E-N-T, it is masculine again. Example, a very common English example. Le département. Le département. Repeat it. Le département, which is the department. That's correct. Le département. For example, le département de français. Le département de français. The department of French. Le département de français. So any noun which ends with M-E-N-T, it is masculine. That's correct. Now, third rule to identify a masculine noun is ending with E-A-U, which ends with E-A-U. You can remember it as water in French. You all know what is water in French? Water in French is O, E-A-U, exact same spelling. So you can remember it as water in French. Oh, water masculine, E-A-U. Any nouns ending with E-A-U are masculine. So a very common example again, which is bureau. Bureau. Repeat after me. Bureau. Yes, r sound. Bureau. What is a bureau? What do you think? Yes, it's an office, it's a desk. So for example, marriage bureau, administrative bureau, it comes from an English word as well. Bureau. So is bureau masculine? How do we know it? It's ending with E-A-Q. Now, the last ending is I-S-M-E. So any noun which ends with I-S-M-E, it is masculine. It is masculine. So, example, le capitalisme. Repeat after me. Le capitalisme, which is the capitalism. Le capitalisme. I could not hear y'all. Le Capitalisme. Très bien. So, here we learned 4 rules to identify the common masculine nouns. So, what was the first rule? Ending with? That's correct. AGE. Second, ending with? MENT. Third, ending with? I give you a hint. Water. EAU. That's correct. Fourth, ending with? ISME. Très bien. So, this were the rules to identify a masculine noun. Now, let's learn how to identify or recognize a feminine ending noun or a feminine noun. So the first, the most common, which everyone knows about is, if a noun is ending with a E, it's feminine. If a noun is ending with a E, it is feminine. Now this rule works 99% of the times again. There are exceptions to it as well. So the first example we have is la table. Repeat after me. La table. What's a table? You guessed it correct. It's the table. La table. Now, the second ending is any noun which ends with T-I-O-N. So, any noun ending with T-I-O-N is usually masculine. Na? It's feminine. That's correct. Example, la solution. La solution. Solution, which is a solution. That's correct. La solution. Yes. Now just focus over here. T-I-O-N. Whenever you see this noun T-I-O-N, you know now it's feminine. But how do we pronounce this T-I-O-N? There's a small trick. You can pronounce this T-I-O-N as sillon. Sillon. Okay, so hence we say la solution. La solution, which is the solution. Now, the third one we have is any nouns ending with T, E with the accent AQ. T, E, AQ. So we saw any nouns which ends with a E is feminine. That's correct. Now, any noun which ends with a T, E, AQ are also feminine. Example, la beauté. La beauté, which is the beauty. Repeat after me. La beauté. Now, the third one was T-E with an accent. Now, fourth one is E-T-T-E. So, any noun which ends with E-double-T-E, it's usually feminine. That's correct. It's usually feminine. Now, a very common example over here. La bicyclette. Repeat after me. La bicyclette. Bicyclette, which is a bicycle. La bicyclette. Yes. Last, not the least, is U-R-E. So any verb, any noun which ends with a U-R-E is also a feminine noun. U-R-E. So example, we have la voiture. La voiture. Absolutely. So we learned 5 rules to identify it's a masculine noun. What were the 5 rules? First one, ending with a E. That's correct. Second, ending with T-I-O-N. How do we pronounce this T-I-O-N? We pronounce it as sillon. Solution. Yes. Third rule is ending with T-E with that accent, AQ on it. Fourth rule is ending with E-T-T-E. Très bien. And the last rule is ending with U-R-E. Absolutely. Now, these rules will help you categorize the French nouns easily. It helps you with knowing it's masculine or feminine. Though it works nearly 90% of the times, there are 10% of the times where you'll find such exceptions as well. But how do you learn those exceptions, or how do you learn a common noun which is masculine and feminine is remember to learn it with their endings. Okay, not just rules, but their endings, their patterns. A very common example is age, ISME are masculine, E-T-I-O-N feminine. Now, second thing which helps or works wonders are use the color coding. What do I mean when I say color coding? Let's say if this is a crayon which is a pencil. Now I know it's a masculine noun because It's not ending with a E. But what I can do is I can use a sticky note and stick around this pencil, a blue colored sticky note to identify it's a masculine noun. And for some feminine nouns, I can use a color sticky note. Okay, so this trick or this method really works well for all the students. Third one is try to learn it with the articles. What articles? That we are going to learn in the next session. So, till then, don't forget to like our video, comment below if you have any doubts. Okay, so merci et à bientôt. Merci.